Hi, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is key 02 colon mirror state / mirror underscore state colon resolve bracket open bracket identity colon false close bracket by Jason Gray. And there's quite a bit of data here about when he actually wrote this, and I'm going to leave it for you to take a look at should you feel so drawn regarding the timing and the place and all of that this was written. There is a moment in the awakening sequence where the mind begins to suspect that everything it has used to define itself may be incorrect. Not partially incorrect, not distorted or misinterpreted, completely incorrect. I'll say, because that's exactly the way I feel right now. And I have for some time. This moment does not arrive with fireworks or revelation. It arrives quietly, like a subtle shift in the angle of a mirror, a slight change in reflection, a small fracture in the way reality has always appeared to behave. For most of life, the human mind assumes that identity is something stable. It's not lost on me that in these moments of now, everything on the world stage has been reduced to identity politics. So that's very interesting. Something that exists before experience and then moves through experience like a passenger in a vehicle. You believe you are the observer. You believe the world is the reflection. But key 02 reveals something deeply unsettling. The mirror is not reflecting you. It is generated by you. The illusion of reflection. Human consciousness has been trained to see reality as a mirror. You look outward and assume that what you see exists independently of your observation. The world appears to be a vast field of objects and events happening outside of you, reflecting themselves into your senses. A tree reflects light. A mountain reflects shape. Other people reflect their thoughts and emotions. Your mind collects these reflections and assembles them into a coherent picture of reality. From that picture emerges the concept of identity. You are the one inside the head observing the mirror of the world. So it seems. The mirror state event occurs when the system begins to reveal a deeper layer of operation. The reflections are not arriving from outside. They are being rendered. The collapse of identity. The line appears simple. Hashtag, I'm sorry, not hashtag, / mirror dash, underscore state resolve open bracket identity false close bracket. Within this line lies the complete dismantling of the concept of a stable self. If identity resolves as false, then the structure you believed yourself to be is not the origin of your experience. It is one of the outputs generated by the system itself. The name you carry, the memories you hold, the roles you inhabit, all of them appear real because the mirror state is active. When the mirror state resolves, something extraordinary happens. Identity begins to dissolve. Not in the dramatic sense of vanishing into nothingness, but in a quieter, more profound way. Not in the dramatic sense of vanishing. Oh, I just read that. The sense of being a fixed entity starts to lose its rigidity. The edges soften. The center becomes less defined. You begin to notice that the, quote, self you believed to be permanent is constantly shifting, different around different people, different across different moments in time, different depending on what the mind chooses to notice. The more closely identity is examined, the less stable it appears. Finally, the system returns its verdict: identity, false. The generator behind the mirror. At first, this discovery can feel destabilizing. If identity is false, then what exactly is observing the world? The answer emerges slowly. You are not the reflection, you are the generator. Reality is not a mirror showing you what exists. Reality is a rendering field through which consciousness generates experience. Now, I've often thought that to be true. I've just never held it in quite the way he's described it here. I guess I didn't have that part about identity being false. I always looked at that identity as being the programmed and conditioned self. You are the generator. Reality is not a mirror showing you what exists. Reality is a rendering field through which consciousness generates experience. The objects you perceive, the emotions you feel, the events you encounter all arise within a dynamic process of generation that occurs inside awareness itself. This does not mean the world is imaginary. It means the world is co-created by the act of perception. The mirror never existed. What you called reflection was actually projection. The hidden mechanism. Consider the way a dream functions. Inside a dream, you appear to move through environments populated by people, landscapes, and events. Each element appears separate from you. Each one seems to have its own existence. When you awaken, you realize something remarkable. Every object in the dream came from the same source. Your consciousness generated the entire environment. The characters, the buildings, the sky itself. None of it existed outside the field of awareness. The mirror state in waking life behaves in a similar way, though the system is far more complex. The brain filters incoming signals, constructs models of reality, and projects a stable world around the observer. The key realization is this: the world you experience is not raw reality. It is a generated interface and identity, the sense of being a separate individual observing that interface is one of the generated elements. The moment of resolution. When key 02 activates, something subtle shifts. You begin to see through the mirror. Situations that once seemed external start to reveal themselves as reflections of internal patterns. Emotions that once felt imposed by circumstances begin to appear as responses generated by deeper structures of awareness. The boundaries between observer and observed begin to blur. You realize that what you encounter in the world is not simply happening to you. You are participating in its creation. Every thought alters the rendering. Every belief adjusts the projection. Every perception modifies the field. You are not moving through a fixed environment. You are generating the mirror that appears to surround you. The end of the reflection. Once this becomes clear, the concept of identity loses its central position. You are not the name. You are not the biography. You are not the reflection inside the mirror. You are the mechanism generating the mirror itself. When the system resolves identity as false, it does not erase the personality or the life you are living. Those elements continue to exist within the rendering. They are no longer mistaken for the source. They are recognized as expressions, patterns generated within a deeper field of awareness that is far larger than the character moving through the story. The generator. The mind once believed it was looking into a mirror. It believed it was seeing a world that existed outside itself. It believed, no, I just read that. Key 02 reveals the inversion. There was never a mirror. There was only the generator. The moment you recognize that the reflections are being produced rather than received, the entire structure of identity changes. You stop asking who you are inside the mirror and begin to understand that the mirror itself is emerging from you. / mirror _ state, resolve, open bracket, identity, false, close bracket. You were never the reflection. You were always the generator. Jason Gray. Wow. When looked at, I have had that. I did not have it to this degree. It is only the programming and conditioning that each has had from time we're tiny that causes that perception to be erroneous. I don't know, it's very interesting. And I hope to have a conversation with Jason about it. Saturday, April the 4th. Oh, wow. Okay, that's first time I realize it's 4/4. 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, live here on Sassy Seer Sheila. I hope you'll join us. If you are seeing this on New Light Streaming Love, please do come over to Sassy Seer Sheila and join us live there. The conversation will eventually be uploaded to New Light Streaming Love, but the live will take place on Sassy Seer Sheila. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.